If you feel like your avoidant partner is pulling away from you, like they're not texting you as much, they're not trying to hang out with you as much, and you're like, what is going on? Are they going to break up with me? Like, this is really bad. Let's talk about it. You might have an anxious attachment style, you might already know that, but let's talk about this. Avoidance uses things called deactivating strategies, which basically helps them to mentally detach from the relationship and slowly like push you away. The reason they're pushing you away is because they are deeply afraid of intimacy and they don't like closeness. They don't want to be locked down in a relationship because that means they basically forfeit their independence and they have no control over their life, is what they think. They enjoy their autonomy. They enjoy the way that they have created a life that is structured and all in their control and their power. So that means they basically feel like they control you, they control their life schedule, their work schedule, like everything. But if you come into their life and you come into their schedule, all of a sudden they've lost that altogether. And that scares them more than anything. Also, if you guys in a relationship are starting to get really deep, or you're asking questions like, what are we? Which is a very normal question, or just asking questions about their past and like digging deep into like their emotional history and just like understanding where they came from. These are all normal things to talk about as well. If they start freaking out or just giving you very like one-word answers or just like BS answers or just like surface level answers, it's because they do not feel comfortable with being vulnerable and being that intimate with someone else. You might have noticed your avoidantly attached partner has a ton of friends, but all of these friends are very, very surface level because relationships across the board, it's not just romantic relationships, it's friendships, family member relationships, work friendships or relationships, like all of the above. They do not feel comfortable opening up too much because once they do that, once they've opened up and they've become intimate, all of a sudden they've lost their control and their power. They've lost their independence because now other people can control them because they know their weakness. But being vulnerable is not being weak. Being vulnerable means like you're confident in who you are and you can share your inner darkest secrets, or just share like what you feel, which is totally normal. Avoidantly attached people have to suppress all of their emotions and suppress everything that they're feeling because they're afraid that if they do share those things with other people, it's going to be bad. So some examples of deactivating strategies could be like if your avoidant says like, oh, I don't put labels on relationships, or they don't want to touch you at all. So like there's either no like intimacy, like no kissing, no like touching, no hand holding, no touching anything on the body, or like no sex or like anything like that. Because the moment you get too close to someone, they freak out and it's basically just like, they know the next thing would be, oh, are we boyfriend and girlfriend? Or like, oh, let's make this more serious. And that freaks them out. So they don't want anything to do with that. That's why one night stands are amazing because it's like you're in, you're out, done. Another thing they'll do is keep the status of the relationship very unclear. So if you do have that conversation where it's like, what are we? Are we boyfriend and girlfriend? Or like, what's going on? And they're just like, I don't do labels, like something like that. I remember I had that conversation with an avoidant before, and he literally straight up told me we can be exclusive. And I was so excited. I like ran home or like went home or whatever. It was like Christmas break or something like that, and I was like, Mom, Dad, oh my God, I'm exclusive. And they're like, what does that mean? And I'm just like, I don't know, but I'm exclusive. And I thought that was so exciting. Okay, they will make you so confused, and the status of what you guys are will be so unclear, and that's all part of it. Okay, because they're trying to push you away. They're trying to make you feel like, what's going on? It's like you're barely connected. That's it. It's always surface level. Another one is they will never tell you that they love you, because obviously if you say that you love someone, then you're being very intimate, you're being very vulnerable at the same time. So that's something they're never going to say. Or they're never going to say like how much they care about you and love you and just like feel for you. Because so like guys, avoidantly attached people feel like they are self-reliant and they do everything on their own, right? They're independent. So they think that everyone in their life or just around them should also be the same way, should also be self-reliant, should also be able to control their emotions and do their own thing. So when they look at you, the anxiously attached partner, they're like, why can't you be self-sufficient? Why can't you control your own emotions? Because you go to them for everything, because you are seeking out comfort from your partner, which again is totally normal. The avoidant person's like, what's wrong with you? Like, why can't you do this on your own? Like, this is stupid. And that is another reason in their head for why they want to break up with you, or why they're going to put distance in between you guys, because they think you're not like qualified, which is stupid. Okay, they're going to make you feel like being intimate, being open with other people is not normal, but it is. If you are in a healthy, secure relationship, you should feel 100% comfortable with sharing exactly what you want, opening up your mouth, and just saying what your needs and desires are to your partner. Being close and intimate with your partner is normal. Sharing your love with your partner and getting it back in return is normal, okay? Because you are anxiously attached, 100% you are probably seeking closeness and intimacy, and that's the only thing that makes you feel okay. And so when they send you a text, it feels like, oh my God, I'm okay again. Or like if they kiss you randomly, which probably doesn't happen all the time, you're probably like, oh my God, I'm okay again. And if they don't give that to you enough, it's like you're craving it because they probably gave it to you at one point, and now you're like, what's going on? And you're worried to start all over. So this video is getting kind of long, but let me know if you want a part 2, okay?